Good morning. Today we are doing a minion. I find them really funny. I don't know if you do. My kids certainly do. And so I decided to do the Frankenstein minion, or the Fraken minion. I've already drawn him in because I wanted to do the background around him. And I don't know if you can see, I've just drawn a line that goes up and up. This bit here is going to be the land that he's standing on, and this is just going to be the background. So I've got some Dioxaxine Purple because I wanted a deep purple, and just my flat brush, and just going to do this bit dark purple, Dioxaxine Purple. Doesn't need to be straight. As you can see, mine is not. But when you come here, you just want to make sure you don't get it on him or her. No, they're all boys, aren't they? I just did the drawing first because it's really hard to see the drawing over a dark colour sometimes, unless you do it in chalk, which I used to do. Just going to wet my paintbrush. Now I'm not even going to attempt those little spots with that big brush. So, my usual state of unorganisation. I've actually found the brush that I wanted. I think my brush is broken. Look at that! Yeah, it was only a cheapie anyway. Still not going to throw it away. Still works. For this bit here, I have Brilliant Violet. Now the only reason I'm using Brilliant Violet is because it's a lighter version of the Dioxaxine Purple, and because earlier this year a craft store here had these Joe Sonia paints, which, you know, they're not professional paints, but they are pretty good paints. They had them for like $2. Now that's pretty cheap here in Australia. They're usually 4 or 8, I can't remember. So I ended up getting a few colours, and Brilliant Violet was one of them. So I'm just going to do all of this and around him in the Brilliant Violet. It's a problem with these little brushes, you always get a dollop of water come down. And I don't get one, I get 2 dollops. Just going to put you in fast forward while I do this bit, because there's nothing particularly hard about this bit. Now, I just want to say a quick note. I don't usually, well, sometimes I do, look through the viewfinder to see what's going on with my camera, but it really is not picking up the fact that this is actually purple. It looks blue on the camera, but it's purple. It's bright purple where I'm standing, and this is really dark purple. I'll show you the thing again, see if it... Yeah, it looks blue, doesn't it? That's weird. Must be the settings or something. Anyway, just so you do not think I'm crazy, the camera is showing this as blue. It's not blue, it's purple. It is. I swear. Well, hopefully the green of the minion shows up properly. Now, for the base colour, this is just his base. I will be adding other colours. It's going to be Sap Green. And I just have a number 5 flat, I think. I've made a mistake there. Just going to fix that up. Better. I did another layer of the violet purple and the Diox purple, or the blue, whatever the heck colour it looks like. I really do swear it's purple. I've even opened the garage door thinking maybe the artificial light of the lights that I have on here is messing with the colours, but it doesn't look like it's changed. Lots of cars. Flies! This is awesome. I'm shutting that door. Now I shut the garage door, but all I managed to do then was lock the little fly in. Now I'm going to go over his scar here just because it makes it easier for me. I'll go back over it with later when I've done his body. I'm going to have to do at least 2 coats of his base, because Joe Sonia, even though it's a pretty good paint, you need a couple of coats. It's definitely not professional. Now, because this is the first base coat, it really doesn't matter the direction that I paint him in. You know, if I want him to look circular, I need to paint him kind of circular. Right now it doesn't matter, because I will be going over this I haven't decided what I'm putting in the background yet. I'm the kind of person that sometimes I can have a plan and it works out. Sometimes I'm more visual and I need to see what's going on before I can decide, oh, okay, I'm going to put a big moon there with a boo written in it or something, or just some stars or a tree, or just leave it. I am a visual creature. That's why when people start telling me about their body problems and their, you know, things you don't want to visualize, I visualize it. It sucks. Just got some black to do his shoes. It's dry. And his gloves. Sorry, I say shoes and then I start doing the gloves. It's that kind of day. Kind of day where you don't want to get up. Now the glove edges up here are wider than the hand or the arm because they go over the arm. So you need to paint them wider than the arm. Oh, I forgot to do that bit purple. Can you see that? That bit in there? Because I've got this dark background here. Doing his feet purple would just be stupid. Because you won't see them. So I'll fix up that bit I missed. And then I might even have to change it. I might even change his glove. Fly. His glove colour. Because
how are you going on minion?
Because you've got to match. It's stupid if you don't match. I love my kids. I do. Okay, I'm going to do just a bit of black. It's still quite wet. I can do a bit of black just on the outside of his, basically his lips. Not his lips, not the whole lips. But just the outline of his mouth here. Because he's not a normal minion, he's a Franken minion. This is the bit in between his teeth. So it's dark because inside your mouth is dark. As you can see, I did his boots black. I just did it. Oh, gotta love Australian spring and summer. I did his boots black because I just want to see if I like it on the darkness of the Dioxaxine Purple. I'm not sure if I do, but the problem I have is all of the minions, their shoes are black. I mean, I could be completely different and do white, couldn't I? Like a pearl white. Anyway, I'm going to do a second coat of this green, just to, because he's still looking pretty ugly. No, I'm going to do his denim pants there. So the base of the denim pants I'm going to do in primary blue. This is just the base. Don't need much, but you do need some. And I'm just using that little flat brush that I used on the green.
I love you.
So just the primary blue and the number 5. It's all dry. Now, as you can see, primary blue is fairly translucent. Yeah, kind of like alizarin crimson. So, but that doesn't matter because we are going to do another coat of primary blue, and then we're going to do the mottled effect of the denim that he's wearing. Gotta love that drop of water that slowly comes down your paintbrush. Now I don't know if you can see what I just did there, but he's a round little pill kind of shape. Now his denim pants are going to go, see how they come down in a curve. So you want to paint it in that way, like you don't want to paint it straight down like that. I'm going to kill this fly. See, I'm still painting in a curve. Now on my next layer I will use a bigger brush just so that I don't get all these streaks, because this is not an expensive brush, so that's why I've got to keep loading up. But the other thing I wanted to mention was the fact that I have him over here and not just smack bang in the middle. I don't like, I'm not a huge fan of having things bam right in the middle. I like to have them either down there or up here, or it just doesn't seem to flow when you have the main thing, like if you've only got one thing. So with this we've only got the minions, so he just wouldn't seem right just smack right there, in my opinion. That's how I like it anyway. Sometimes when I'm doing a painting of a portrait and that, I have them to the side or up here or down here. I just don't like them unless it's a massive canvas. Kill that fly. For his little glass thing around his eye, I'm using silver. This is going to need a couple of coats because silver and gold and all those kind of metallic paints are notorious for being really weak in pigment, or especially if you have a craft paint. Like I used to have a long time ago when I used to paint with just the watery cheap craft paint that was $1 a tube. I used to wonder why the silver and that was so bad. Now I know. They just are. It wasn't me. So just got the silver and I'm just doing his circle thingy. See how weak it is? But it's definitely better than those really cheap craft paints I used to use. And I forgot to do the green in there. Oh, I'm having a great morning. I'm just doing his little, whatever they are, little things that go in his, some people have them drawn in his neck, some people have them drawn in his head. Just doing these a grey, just a light grey. Now just to help me along, I'm going to do a coat of light grey around his eye thingy too, because grey and silver basically the same, except silver is a little bit glittery, that's all. Because otherwise it's just going to take me 50 layers to get that silver right, how I want it anyway. As you know, you can make grey with black and white. Just to annoy you, I've decided I do not want this purple here, so I'm going over it with white because I want the colour, or I'm pretty sure I want this colour to be yellow. I know that sounds really weird, but I actually think it will look good. So because yellow is so weak, I need to do white to get it to show up. Just ignore all this background, it's a work in progress. Now I want to make a mottled effect to kind of make a denim effect on his pants overalls. So I have a bit of paper towel and it's damp and I've scrunched it up, and I'm just gonna, this is Prussian Blue, and I'm just gonna, get just tiniest little bit, and as you can see when I dab, I'm going to dab very lightly and just on his overalls. You could do this with a sponge. Now I just want a little bit, so I've just squeezed this bit here into kind of like a point, and then I'm just going to dab it just so I don't get it everywhere. I mean, it doesn't matter if you do, it's easily fixed, it really is. That one was starting to fall apart, so I've just got another bit, twisted it, doing the same thing. Now it's going to be darker on this side and down here where his belly hangs. Nice way of saying it. I have some light green blue shade, if you can read that. It's golden, just use, or you can make your own if you really want. And I'm just going to shade mainly this side of him, and then we'll put in his creases and things like that. So any mistake that you just made on his overalls can be easily fixed with this green. Actually, I'm going to go over all of this sap green, because the sap green was the base. See how the sap green of the base still shows through? So we've got our base coat of the sap green. Now I did the sap green mainly to get some colour on there, and I wanted a little bit to show through, and then we're going to do when this is dry, we're going to do the shadows, and then he should look pretty damn fine. But make sure all the other paints are dry. Okay, getting our detailer that is broken and some black, and we're just going to draw in his little pocket, just the outline. Here's his pocket, and he has a button. And another button which probably won't be seen. But what I also want to do is just a black outline just on the edge of his overalls. Using primary blue and titanium white, I just made this light white, and I got some paper towel and it's damp, and I've squished it up like a dip, and I dropped it. And I'm picking it up and I'm showing you again. Dirty hands. I'm just making it into the point that we made the other one in, dabbing it in that light blue just to have some different colours. Now you do too much, you can always go back over it with the Prussian Blue. When your point starts to run out, just get a different point. That's my phone. And now I'm just going to get the teeniest bit of Prussian Blue mixed with that. See, I've just got a little bit, and that wasn't enough. A little bit more, and I'm just going to kind of mix them together. I'm just going to fix this bit up here because I lost the shadow of his belly, so just Prussian Blue, nothing else. Now if you lost your pocket definition, like stupid chat like I did, just go back over it. Easily fixed. And then in it you want to do kind of like an eye shape and a dot. Kind of looks like a blur, but whatever. And I lost his button over here too. Now just a little bit of white. Just dabbing. And he has some folds up here, so we're just going to show these folds using some white. I've still got a little bit of black on my brush, so it's kind of white with black, so great. And there's a bit of a highlight. So we're almost done with these pants. I have some permanent green light. So it's darker than the green we used before. I'll show you a comparison of the two greens. There's permanent green light and there's the one we used on the minion. So he has, I'll do that later. So Now I've got some permanent green, some of the light one, and just got some of that on my paintbrush. And doing a blending just to blend the dark into the light. So I've got the light on a different brush. I'm just going to bring it over. See how they just beautifully blend together. Do the same on his arm here. It's just beautiful. I love watching blending happen. I really do. It's a really, I don't know, it just finishes the painting and it makes it look really good. Now, yeah, we're going to do this a couple of times because right now the light green has taken over. But I'm going to get that darker green again and do the same spots. Then I got the different brush and the light green. And I'm just barely touching the canvas. And can you see how it's getting darker on this side, but it's still looking like one whole piece. You got to make sure you do this when it's wet, when both the paint you just put down and the when they're both wet. See how he's darker there? Well, I can see it. I don't know if you can see it. So now I'm dragging this green, the darker green, out into the light one. Now I've got the light again. If you get too much the dark green on that paintbrush that's got the light green on it, just give it a rinse and start again. just to show you that this side is definitely darker. Just get some of the darker green and just do a quick line, just a small line just there, just going up the edge. A little bit more of the dark. We'll spread it up here. And there. Now the light. And blend it all in. Last one on here, just the tiniest bit of green light. I might add a little bit more over here too. Now I'm just, while I'm here, I'm just doing another layer of the green light. But under his eyepiece there is going to be shadow. So now we get our green light and we start working it in. You don't want to mix this one up too much because you want the shadow fairly dark there, because the shadow from his eyepiece is going to be fairly dark. just a littlest bit of blending here. Now I've just got the darkest green we used and my detailer. I'm just going to do his crease here. And another one up here. Now I'm just mixing a very light grey. Sorry for my messy plate. I'll stick one. So I've got, where's my black? I've got my black, just the tiniest, littlest bit. And this is what I did just for the eye there. I just did a coat of the eye because we haven't done the eye yet. And it's also going to be, oops, whiter than that. Make sure it's whiter than that. Still a little bit whiter than that. Because teeth are not white. We like to think they're white, but they're not. White is for the extreme highlights. So barely anything is white. Because if you did the teeth white, then you'd have nothing left for the highlights. And the same for the eye. Now for the crack, not the cracks, the teeth, the lines. You want them not black and not white, so very dark grey. You can always fix it up if you do wrong. I want it darker than that. I want it lighter than that. Just making this gap bigger. I didn't do it big enough. Now, that tooth there has a big gap between it, so we will do that one black. Now a darker grey for the top of the tooth, just so it doesn't look like a I don't know. Just you want to do the top of the tooth here, grey. And then this one here is darker. Now we want to make it a little bit wider, but still dark. and a bit of a curved line. It's not going to work. I have to wait till it's dry. I'll wait till that's dry. So we're still working with the greys, the black and the white. You want a fairly dark grey for this bit, definitely darker than the grey we used. I'll get there. Kind of like a Payne's grey. You could use Payne's grey for this part. Using a lighter grey now.
Yeah. Do you think I should put some bits of brown in?
No, darling, that's too hard. Huh? No. It's too hard. Now I'm going to get the lighter colour again while this one's wet, or while that one's wet. And just go over it, blend it. Well, not blend it, but mix it so you can tell. Now I'm getting black, and I'm going to make a very, very dark grey, almost black. And there's a line. How did I get white? There is a line that goes here. Then I'm just going to get black an outline. Just got a very dry brush. Just pulling this black over here just into the green. Yep, didn't want that much. It's alright.
My lunch is already starting. You know how?
Okay, to fix up that excess black, I've just got that dark green. And
They've already popped up.
then I'm just going to get the light and just blend that in. I am using the wrong brush for this, but see how you pull it out there? Okay, we are almost done. So using, let's make sure that's dry. Using black, I'm going to draw the thing that holds his eyepiece on, or his glass, or whatever it is. Okay, using my little one. My detailer. Just going to do his pupil, which is here. I think he's looking pretty cool. Just going over the outline of his black lips, because we lost the black. Sorry. Now I've just got highlights, finish these things and put his scars in and his hair. Actually, I'll do his hair now. It's just black. And you want to come forward on his head so it looks like it's 3D-ish. Well, not 3D, I'm just... Oh, I can't think of the word. I can never think of the word, can I? I should have a dictionary with me when I paint. Or a thesaurus. Doing his Frankenstein scar. A little bit crooked, but whoever operated on him wasn't perfect. No, you don't want these to be perfect either. Looks like a pirate. And I'm going to put a scar there. I'm going to give him one there too. Now for this bit you just want white. Painted over the white with yellow, and then I just made a little bit of a shadow here. Now I'm just going back over it with yellow again to make it not so just in your face. So that's his shadow. And then a quick black. For his shoes. And finally, just do yeah, my paint's wet. I'll just do a quick bat. Do it up here. And even though I'm standing right over it, it's still is it looks blue. I don't know, maybe I'm colourblind, I don't know. But there he is, all done with his grr and his plugs and his scar. And there's a quick bat. Just a quick simple minion Halloween painting. Hope you enjoy.